Greetings, my name is Deb Ghosh. I'm an associate professor at Hillsborough Community College, and my discipline is biological science. This presentation is for steering online success in STEM education. The COVID-19 pandemic has dramatically affected the academic field. At the beginning of the pandemic, the most challenging distress was caused by the uncertainties and not knowing all the logistics. One thing was certain, though, that there was an immediate need for the transition of all on-campus courses to an online environment. This sudden change in the teaching and the learning modality was distressing for several students. Students who had signed up for an on-campus course in biological science and microbiology and human disease course suddenly found that they were weaned out from their interactive on-campus classroom to a remote distance learning environment. To address the concerns, 3 strategies and tools were adopted during the course transition. They were humanistic approach to transition, introducing new interactive teaching technology, and shift on campus to web-based virtual labs. Again, the key concern were students that they have to move from a remote learning environment online from their on-campus class. So the level of frustration was extremely high, but more so was added with the loss of job, lack of financial or mental support, and certainties that were with the pandemic on a global scale. So the first strategy that I'm going to talk about here is a humanistic approach to those classes and humanistic communication. While these students were adept to the learning module, which is the learning management system, Canvas, and the communication through the Canvas, one thing was certain: they were not ready to learn through an online environment. So the 2 broad strategies that were adopted in the biological science course and the microbiology course focused on communication engagement and evolving the courses to continue to meet the course outcomes and build the pedagogical skills of critical thinking and scientific process. Updates were made to the syllabus immediately, shifting the dates of the exams and the grading policies. Changes were made to the research paper deadlines and also chapter quizzes. Additional flexibility was provided for the dates of the exam. Exams were taken away from the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and placed on Sundays so that the student can have extra time. And the exams were available for a little longer, between 12 to 24 hours, depending on the exam. The lectures were shifted to an online environment and delivered synchronously as live lectures that they would have done had they been on their on-campus classrooms. So exact time as the classes were, the lectures were delivered online. There was a change made to the communication. Several communications were sent to students, not overwhelming them though. 3 of the main emails that were sent, one was before the upcoming lecture, reminding the students of their upcoming lecture, providing the link to the Zoom or the Canvas conference. And while the PowerPoints were available in their Canvas module, it was reattached in the email, reiterating the importance of the chapter that they are going to learn for that week. After the lectures were delivered, the second email was sent out thanking the student for their participation, attaching additional resources such as YouTube videos, but most importantly, the link to the recorded lectures. While about 60 to 80% of the population did participate in the classroom online lectures, there were some that were unable to, perhaps due to a job or other family issues. So they can go back and look at those recorded lectures. So were the students who were participating in the synchronous lectures. The third comprehensive email was sent over the weekend on Sunday evenings, reminding them of the upcoming week, what are the chapters they're going to cover that week, if there were quizzes, what quizzes were due, and if they had an exam in that week, they also learned about details of the exam. How many questions, how long will it be available to the students, and also the fact that it will be delivered now through honor log. Additional case-by-case individual emails were sent to students who were unable to complete or turn in an assignment or a quiz. This is a sample email that were sent to students, reiterating again the importance of the exam, highlighting the chapters that will be there, the content, reminding them to keep working towards their research paper, and also additional details that has to be published. A choreography of the mastery of content was developed with the help of some of the students. The importance of the participation in Canvas conference was important, and it was reiterated in this Canvas choreography. The fact that students need to review the chapter outline and how essential it was for their success was also highlighted. How much they have to review the PowerPoint presentation over and over again, and also the vital importance of reading a textbook was also shared in this choreography. The chapter quizzes that they were able to take only one time before was now shifted to that they can take it 2 times. And the high score stays, and through taking the quizzes twice, once they were learning the content of the material, and also they were able to have that positive impact of the success. I have to remind though that the quizzes, they were not getting the exact same questions. It was from a pool. If they still needed additional help, they could always post it in a discussion post, or they can email the professor and set up additional meeting during office hours. The second strategy was introducing the new interactive teaching technology, which is called a Wacom interactive pen. With the help of this pen, any device can be made into a smart device. And hence, if an instructor does not have an iPad, using this Wacom Intuos interactive pen, you can make a static lesson to a dynamic interactive classroom presentation. And this actually helped to ramp up engagement and participation. And also it supports that flipped classroom and interactive distance learning programs anywhere else also. So the Wacom interactive display pen, you can directly write on the PowerPoint screen or on the whiteboard screen. And also if you open up a Word document, and you can create a virtual classroom with the enhanced technology as if you are writing on a whiteboard or a chalkboard. The interactive pen can mark and annotate, as I am doing now as I'm presenting, and the digital content to capture student comment, elaborate on key concept, and most important in biological science or overall in STEM, the concept of drawing and sketching is extremely important, and this I could do with the help of this interactive pen. And these annotations are actually saved in the presentation, and this can be distributed at a later time. Since these learning sessions, as I shared, were recorded, the annotations and the interactive content were available for students who they can review at their own pace. So this is that interactive tablet. So what I am writing here is now been projected on the screen, and it stays with the screen. So I could even do office hour teaching student a section as if I am using the whiteboard. This is a sample interactive annotation. This chapter we were doing the replication of DNA. Once they learned about all the enzymes and the process of replication, I went back and I asked what's the main enzyme. Once they shared their answer, I wrote it down over here so that they can see it at a later time again. I asked the question, what is the function of topoisomerase? When they shared that information, I could write it here. As you see, I am writing over this PowerPoint again. So this is kind of over and over, you can add on with the help of this interactive pen. Additionally, in the PowerPoint, we had embedded videos so students can go back and review the videos at a later time. And the third strategy was the introduction of web-based virtual labs. Now, in the biology course as well as in the microbiology course, The 80 to 85% of the labs were hands-on, on-campus classroom experimental labs. However, with the transition to an online environment, we had to create a repository of online labs that are, again, meeting the course outcome, and most importantly, they are undergraduate level labs and not high school level labs. So, and we also made sure that these labs are built using a mastery model, meaning that the assessment is adapting to the student's learning progression. So the labs were adopted from the National Center for Biotechnology, NCBI, CDC, Swiss-Pdb Viewer for the protein lab, the DNA Learning Center from the Cold Spring Harbor lab, and also the Howard Hughes Medical Institute's biointeractive labs. And these labs, again, are web-based lab. Additionally, we use some of the McGraw-Hill labs to supplement what they were learning in their classroom. I'm giving example of 3 particular labs. In the microbiology course, we introduced the outbreak lab. This was extremely meaningful during the time of COVID-19 outbreak. And students were able to see the different levels and the association with epidemiological studies, public health, understand about herd immunity, understand the concept of different kinds of outbreaks from the epidemic, pandemic, as well as endemic studies. Once student completed the labs, they would send the screenshot of the completion with their names to get the credit for the completion of the labs. Similarly, the protein lab was introduced in the majors biology course. The molecular modeling was never part of the on-campus labs before. But with the transition, we were introducing these molecular modeling labs for beginners, and they were able to analyze protein structures, amino acid mutations, hydrogen bonds, angles, and also intuitive graphics. So we were, to some extent, able to do some of these deep view labs from the PDB. And the last that we were started, but we did not get to finish it, was a DNA interactive lab, the DNA Subway. Again, this is from the DNA Learning Center. We were able to do some of the search database, search genome, but we, again, the semester ended before we could complete this lab. So these were some of the examples. Not all of them were successful. However, this was a great pilot study for introducing new web-based lab and capture some of the essence of higher level understanding and critical thinking through these new labs that we introduced instead of the hands-on that they were doing before. That said, this was the 3 strategies that were, and tools, of course, were introduced during the transition for biological science and microbiology course from their on-campus to their online transition. Again, if you have any question or comment, please don't hesitate to contact me. My contact information is dghosh@hccfl.edu. Thank you.